Welcome back to Guff Stuff. My name is Guff, and I have a really scratchy voice today. So I want to welcome you all back to Guff Stuff. And I know it's been a while since we recorded videos, but I am working at this. I'm working with some new tools to try and help script everything for me. I come up with ideas and then I write everything down, and then I have some AI finish up the script, make it nice and neat so it sounds good, right? Not so I'm just running around babbling around like I am right now. And so, yeah, today we're going to talk about, I'm going to kind of do this video podcast, and I'm going to tie this in with, I'm going to kind of record a video with a podcast or alternative to the podcast. So for those who prefer video, you can watch me and look at my beautiful face while I'm talking, or not so beautiful. And then for those who want to just listen, there's the podcast version of this, basically the same thing we're going to be talking about. So we're going to keep these short. We're going to keep them under 10 or 15 minutes. Probably under 15 minutes for sure. And we're just going to go on and just have fun, and we're going to enjoy this year. And I'm sorry it took so long to get going again this year. Last November, we decided to slow down right around deer hunting season, which would be around the 12th or 15th, I think it was last year. And we just took time off to recoup and regather, and because there's some sicknesses and coughs and ickies that we all had. So right now, though, it's just me. It's just Guff. Just going to be talking about some stuff. So welcome back to Guff Stuff. This is your go-to show to bring for all things gaming, from board games to video games to tabletop RPGs and even mini war games. I'm your host, Guff, if you didn't know, and I'm coming to you from the Midwest, where the dice always roll true. The stories are as epic as ever. All right. So Happy New Year. Yes, I said that. Happy New Year. It is 25 days past the New Year, but Happy New Year. I hope you had a fantastic holiday season filled with family, friends, and maybe even some new games. I hope so. I hope you had a lot of new games to play. Today, we're kicking off a year with a theme that's near and dear to my heart, and that would be how gaming can truly change your life, how it can change everything about you. Whether you're a casual player or a hardcore enthusiast, gaming has the power to connect, transform, and inspire what you're doing. So that's what we're going to dive into today. But let's go and start with a little personal story. As growing up as a kid here in the Midwest, and just growing up as a kid, my family played ridiculous amounts of board games and card games. Every time we went to a family get-together, there was a card game or a board game that broke out, and we spent countless hours of playing. Those moments really weren't about winning or losing for the most part. Now that I'm older and I understand this, it was really about connecting with my family members and just enjoying their company and spending time with them and getting to know them and appreciating them. And when my kids were little, we did some of that, but we delved more into the video games because my kids are digital kids, so that's how that works. And we just spent a lot of time diving into the video game stuff with them. But we did connect with them. We're still close today. I have two of them, and both of them are very close to both my kids. And I count a lot of that just to the gaming environments that we put them through, whether it was board games or tabletops or RPGs or war games or whatever. Anyway, now as an adult, I look back on those things and I think about those memories, and what a wonderful time that was. It was amazing, and I wouldn't give that up for anything. I know there's a lot of people like, as kids, they did a lot of things, and they spun a lot of sporting events, and they did travel a lot and stuff. My family wasn't rich. We didn't travel a lot, but we did do a lot of stuff together, and we were very close like that. So thank you, board gaming. You made my life wonderful. But as you know, gaming is more than a pastime. It became a cornerstone of us. And so now running a game store isn't about, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to connect here. Running a game store is not about just making money. It's about building personal connections, or even watching personal growth and building personal growth, whether it's in you or me or whoever's in the store. I've seen people walk in, never met each other before, and now they're best friends, right? I've watched shy kids come in here, find their voice in Dungeons and Dragons, and now they're just like social butterflies. I mean, and watch adults rediscover their joy in creating and painting a miniature. I'm one of them. Like I tried as a kid to paint models and do this and that, and it was always tough, right? But now as an adult, I can sit down, I can paint, I can just enjoy it. Like, and I've enjoyed gaming and miniatures and just hobby stuff so much more. Um, and gaming always has a way of bringing out the best in us, especially when we let it. We've got to remember, we got to let the gaming bring out the best in us. Sometimes it does bring out the worst too, unfortunately. But that's not what this podcast is about. The podcast is about positivity and a new future and a new going. And yeah, so anyway, we'll move on. So let's break down how gaming can transform our lives. And yes, as you know now, I'm going to be working a little bit off scripts. I'm mentioning this now, so you know. I've worked on some different scripts and formats during our off time to try and figure out what I think would work best. And I want to keep everything moving slowly and smoothly, just kind of a nice, easy motion, right? And so I'm using some AI tools. I put in all the descriptors. I work on some of this. I tell it what I want to talk about. We dig into some personal stories and stuff. And I put down everything I want. And then I just put it down in brainstorming ideas, and then I put it down some personal information and some stories I want to tell. And then I'll put it in the AI, and we'll just have the AI help sort it out. That saves so much time. So I just want you to know where I'm at. We're going to be scripting a little more, at least I am, and going with this instead of just free willy-nilly in it, right? So anyway, let's break down how gaming can transform your life. First and foremost, at least in this situation here, gaming is inherently social. Whether it's sitting around a table or logging into a multiplayer game, it's really about interacting, strategizing, and forming bonds with other people. For example, I've seen, which I just mentioned a little bit ago, but I've seen like lifelong friendships develop from gaming. You know, kids have never even knew each other. One kid's from this town over here, one kid's from this other town over here. Bam, they're best friends, you know. Or they start dating and, you know, they've been together for 10 years now, whatever it is. But you never know. You just never know. And I want everybody to be totally aware of this. You just never know that when the person across the table rolling the dice becomes part of your journey in game and out of game. You just don't know, because you may initially see that person when they come in and go, oh, I don't think this person, I don't think we'll ever be friends. You just don't know, right? So keep an open mind on that. Secondly, so we talked about it builds community, which I just got to talk about. Secondly, it'll sharpen your skills. Games, the first thing the games teach us, the most important, one of the most important things teach us, it teaches us problem solving. It teaches us critical thinking and sometimes even leadership, because when you're in a campaign with 4 or 5 or 6 people at the table, somebody's going to step up and take a leadership role sooner or later. Otherwise, it's going to be pure chaos, right? It's very hard to have 5 people or 4 people or 6 people or whatever it is sitting at a table and nobody takes leadership. It's just really hard. You have to have somebody step up and go, okay, this is what we're doing. And in these type of games, the difference between a leadership and strategy and good strategy and bad strategy, it could be the difference between victory and defeat. And if you think about it, these aren't just game skills. These are life skills, because if you can take any skill that you've learned inside of a game, and whether it's the problem, especially the problem solving and critical thinking, and you can bring it to your real life and you're looking at a problem, you can look outside the box, right? And you can apply this to your real life. So this is really cool like that. Sorry, I don't mean to go off on tangents, but I love this stuff and I'm really passionate about it. So next, it inspires creativity, from building your custom characters to, painting your miniatures to, sorry, my throat is really dry. Painting your miniatures and then just using your imagination to create an outlet for self-expression, right? A way to explore new ideas in a safe and fun environment. Like, in a game, you could okay, well, gee, can my guy jump off a horse and land on his feet? You don't want to do that in real life, because you'll probably just break your face, right? But if you do it in the game and you roll and you fail, well, your character takes a little damage, he gets up, because they're all superheroes. or maybe not superheroes, but they're all pretty tough, right? But there's no real downtime. You just have a cleric heal you. But anyway, you see what I'm saying. So it sparks creativity. Gaming and creativity go hand in hand. They're perfect for each other. And so there we are. So anyway, looking ahead to 2025, the rest of this year, we are, like I said, we are going to be, I've got 10 already scripted, not scripted completely, but mostly finalized scripts for 10 more of these episodes. I don't know if I'll be doing 2 a week or 3 a week or whatever it's going to be. But I got a fairly nice setup going, how I want to set these up. And these are the short ones. These will be under 15 minutes. We'll still be doing the long form podcasts, so stay tuned for those. But these ones are just going to be kind of like little subjects and maybe just intro subjects. But now in 2025, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to think about what gaming means to you in your life. How has it shaped who you are? How has it brought you joy and growth or even healing? And how can you use gaming? How can we use gaming this year to connect to others, develop more skills, and have more fun? Let's comment below. Let's talk about this. I just want to engage with all of you. I want to talk about this stuff. This is important stuff. And if you post, I will respond to you the best I can. And if I can't, then we'll get somebody else that will, right? So, but enough about me. But enough about this. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what is your craziest memory in a game that you've had. Like, I don't care if it's Halo or it's D&D or it's Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or any of those things. I just want to hear, or mini war games or Warhammer 40K or Legion. I just want to hear a memory that changed your life. And if it's cool enough and if it's good enough and something I can relate to and something I can manage to put into a story, I'll put it on YouTube for you. I will talk about it. I will, we'll make a video out of it. We'll make a podcast out of it. You can message me through social media here and I'll contact you that way. Or if you can find me in social media, just message me on any of the social media, Guff or Guff Stuffs. Not Guff because there's a website called Guff, but Guff Stuff. We have Facebook, we have a Discord, but that's a private server. But we can get you on that server at some point. YouTube here, Spotify anymore. You just message us through any of those platforms. We'll get it. We'll get back to you. So yeah, I want you to stay tuned. We have some exciting episodes planned this year. We're going to go delve into some of the things like Burnout Paradise by Criterion Games. I'm going to go back into that one. We're going to talk about it because that's a hidden gem that maybe some of you didn't know about. One of the best racing games ever made, right? We're going to dive into that a little bit. We're going to go into some RPGs, miniature painting. Let's see here. We got some Gaslands. We're going to talk about using social media and the platforms out there for making this stuff awesome. You're going to see us use a lot more social media this year. And so that's what we're going to be talking about. We're also going to be talking about gaming trends. All these shorts are going to be pretty much developed to keep you engaged. And we're going to talk about gaming trends. We're going to spotlight indie developers. Hopefully every week we're going to play a new indie game and just hammer down because I want these indie developers to feel free to just we want to push the agenda, help some of these other YouTubers get some of these indie game guys up because indie games are fantastic and wonderful. So before we wrap up, I want you to leave with this. Gaming at its core, it's about connection and it's about connecting with others and even connecting with yourself you didn't know was there. So this year, let's embrace the power of play and where it takes us. Thank you for starting the year with me. And until next time, keep rolling those dice, pushing those pawns. Always remember, the gaming is better when we play together. Take care, and I'll see you next time on the Guff Stuff. Have a nice day.